Welcome back to the Talking Lead Podcast. This is episode 270. That's right. We keep knocking them out of the park, moving right along. We'll be at 300 before you know it. If you didn't get a chance to check out last episode, episode 269, make sure you go back, check it out. We had another Optics 101 class with Right On Optics. Jeremiah Alexander, also known as J-Mac, was teaching us the proper scope that we need for the proper task. So whether it's home defense, competition shooting, hunting, long-range precision shooting, he gave some tips and tricks on which scope, what power scope, that type thing. So make sure you go back to TLP 269 Optics 101 with Jeremiah with Right On Optics, which just happens to be the official optics of Talking Lead. Make sure you guys go and support the companies that support this show, like Right On Optics. We talked about their new 4x32x56 that they just released. It's available now for you lead heads. And mine came in the other day, and I love it. So as you guys are hearing this, I am probably out on the range right now, testing it out, trying it out. I was waiting on my mount to come in for that, so it came in, and I got it mounted and going to take it out and stretch its legs. So I'll report back on that and let you guys know how it is. But we've got some pictures and things posted on social media, so you can go to Instagram, Facebook, Talking Leads, and Right-Ons. Check those out. And, of course, you know I'm going to be shooting at X-Steel targets.
X-Steel targets.
The best, most affordable AR-500 steel targets on the market today. I've got some really nice AR-500 steel targets from Bud and the gang over at X-Steel Targets. You guys go to their website, xsteeltargets.com. Check out all the awesome targets that they have there. Pretty much anything and everything that you need, whether you're a professional shooter, competition shooter, law enforcement, military, or just, like me, your everyday plinker. They've got what you need there at X-Steel Targets. And if you don't see what you need, you can give them a call. Bud over there, they custom cut AR-500 steel targets. Pretty much any kind of design or need that you can think of, they can do it. xsteeltargets.com. And I know you guys have been waiting to hear the announcement. I've been building it up over the last couple of episodes, but we did run into some scheduling issues again with the new sponsor, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make the announcement. Drum roll, please. So what I want you to do, Leadheads, is I want you to go and I want you to give them a big welcome. Welcome them to the Talking Lead Podcast. Welcome them to the Leadhead Brigade. They're no strangers to the show. They have supported our show pretty much over the past 5 years, some form or fashion. They've been our sponsors at SHOT Show, but they have now made it official. So let's give them a big Leadhead welcome, guys. Kel-Tec Weapons. Woohoo! So Kel-Tec is the newest member of the Talking Lead family of sponsors. And we welcome them. I wish they could be here to make this announcement, but like I said, we've had some issues. You guys, Chad Enos. Chad's no stranger to the show. He is a Leadhead, listener of the show, frequent guest, frequent co-host. He had a motorcycle accident recently and was pretty banged up. Thankfully, he's out of the hospital now. He's doing great. But you guys go to Kel-Tec's Facebook page, Instagram page. Chad also has Instagram, Facebook. I think on Instagram he's Kel-Tec Chad. So just let him know that you Leadheads are thinking about him. Welcome Kel-Tec to the Leadhead Brigade, the family of sponsors, and show them the support that the Leadhead Brigade is famous for. So that's something I've been waiting to drop for a while now. I'm glad I got that out. But we will have them on. As soon as Chad gets back on his feet, ready to go, we'll get him on, and we'll get some words from Kel-Tec. Looking forward to that. But I hear that Jackwagon train coming in now. So, Gunny, bring that train in. We've got some Jackwagons to haul off.
Hoorah, Semper Fi, do or die, hold 'em high at 8th and I. It is time for the Talking Lead Jackwagon of the Week, so brace yourself, baby.
All right, the train is stationed, and we are ready to throw some Jackwagons on the train. We've got a few for you guys this week, listener-submitted ones. So I'm going to go to our Jackwagon inbox here, and we'll go to Jerry B. And Jerry B says, I nominate Moms Demand Action. Okay. They are on the train already, but let's see what they've done lately. So Jerry says, at a recent shooting in Kentucky at a Kroger that left 2 dead, moms demand action indicate that the lack of gun control laws left the community less safe, and that's in quotes. And then Jerry goes on and says, the issue here is that Kroger has openly stated that they will abide by local and state laws, which allows their customers to carry in their stores. Because this doesn't match the sentiment of MDA, they demand action, in quotes. The reality is MDA feels their rights are more important than ours, and with that attitude, we again hear common sense gun laws, in quotes, as if the current laws do not have any common sense. Just another example of a billionaire flaunting his wealth and buying the opinion of the mainstream media. Well, I think moms demand action have been after Kroger for a while now, and kudos to Kroger for not giving in to them. But they have done some other things in the past, like on a previous episode we talked about where they had pulled some of all of the firearms magazines in Kroger, so they're not doing the firearms magazines any longer. So let's hope that they don't waver on this stance as well. So all you law-abiding lead heads out there that are carrying legally, get in touch with your local Kroger and let them know that you stand behind them in their stance on supporting local gun carry laws and extending that into their stores. All right, so we get another one from Jason Farmer. Jason he's pretty consistent on sending us Jackwagon, so we appreciate that, Jason. Let's see what he's got for us this week. So it says, came across this one the other day and debated whether to send it to you since it was from 2014. So as I said in the past, Jackwagon has no time limit or expiration date. So if there's somebody that we've missed that we need to go back and get and throw on the train, we absolutely will do that. And in this case, let's read on. It says, but I've seen it posted a lot recently. It may have sort of fell through the cracks. If it already made it to the Jackwagon, please disregard. And I'm pretty sure this one hasn't. This one comes from the Washington Times, but he goes on to say, I saw where it was reported in a British newspaper as well. It's a public service announcement that aired showing a teenager walking into his parents' bedroom and taking a handgun from the nightstand, then taking it to school and walking it into his classroom and turning it over to his teacher, asking, can you take this away? I don't feel safe with a gun in my house. So I did watch the video, and the video is still out there. So you guys can Google PSA. PSA encourages kids to steal parents' guns. If you Google that, it'll will pretty much will come up. So that's what I Googled, and it came up, and I saw the video. And here's the report from the Washington Times. It says, a startling new anti-gun ad released, and this is from 2014, so this isn't a new report, by a San Francisco-based production company encourages children to commit a series of crimes by stealing their parents' guns and turning them over to school officials. The Daily Caller reported Monday, December 22nd, 2014. It says Sleeper 13 Productions released the controversial video on December 13th. It shows a pouty young boy wandering into his parents' bedroom, stealing a handgun out of their dresser drawer, and then shoving it into his backpack. The boy then carries what is presumably a loaded weapon into his classroom. After class, he approaches the teacher, takes the gun out of his backpack, and slams it onto her desk. And he does do that. And I love the reaction by the teacher, too, because her eyes get, big as saucers, and she kind of jumps up. And then the boy slams the gun down on the desk and says, can you take this away? I don't feel safe with a gun in the house, the boy says. Our children deserve a safe world, the ad says. Stop gun violence now. Yeah, so the writer of this, the person who wrote this, her name is Regina Sincic, REJINASINCIC. I did Google her, and of course, it's everything you think you would find. She's a huge liberal. She's on Twitter. She's got the YouTube channel, but she's not done anything really since this. This seems to be like the only thing that she's really done was this Stop Gun Violence PSA, which I never saw. And if you look at the quality and production of this, I mean, my gosh, your 3-year-olds could do a better job. But the message that she's sending obviously is from someone who does not understand firearms or guns. So yeah, I mean, it's a senseless video that has very mixed messages, especially for younger people who are watching this. I mean, hopefully this did not make it to mainstream advertising on TV and whatnot. I can't imagine that it would. They're encouraging your kids to commit a felony, commit a crime to stop something that's completely legal and lawful. So, pretty ridiculous. Jason goes on to say, hard to believe that the same people claiming that parents who own guns are irresponsible can suggest this type of garbage. Yeah, absolutely. But, be responsible gun owner. If you've got kids around, you've got kids in the home, practice proper safety measures, locks, safes, those type of preventative measures are available and for you to use freely, as it is now in our country. I mean, it may come a day where to own a gun, then it's a mandatory that you have the safes and you have the locks. So, and it very well may be in some areas of our country, but yeah. So Regina Sensick and the PSA there, Stop Gun Violence. Welcome to the Jackwagon train. All right, so that's a good one from Jason, and like I said, I mean, there is no expiration date for Jackwagonness, so send your nominations into talkinglate@gmail.com and Jackwagon in the subject matter. So let's do one more. We've got another listener-submitted one here. This one's from Jason K., and Jason says, so Don Lemon thinks all right-wing white males are radicalized terrorists. Wow, this is Fox. Let's see. He sends me a link from Fox News. So he says it should be reputable. The interview was, of course, on CNN. So here, this is from CNN. It says host Don Lemon, which I've never heard of Don Lemon. I don't watch a lot of CNN, obviously. Says he's under fire after a disturbing on-air rant in which he declared that white men, in quotes, are the biggest terror threat to the United States. Noted that there is no white guy banned, in quotes, and wondered aloud, what do we do about that? So Cuomo Primetime host Chris Cuomo and Lemon were discussing the recent shooting of 2 black men in Kentucky that's being investigated as a hate crime when his Monday guest and colleague took the conversation off the rails. He may have taken it off the rails, but we got him back in the Jackwagon train, that's for sure. Says, I keep trying to point out to people not to demonize any one group or any one ethnicity, but we keep thinking that the biggest terror threat is something else, Lemon said. Some people who are marching towards the border like it's imminent. And the last time they did this, a couple of hundred people came, and most of them didn't get into the country. Most of them got tuckered out before they even made it to the border, Lemon told his CNN colleague. So we have to stop demonizing people and realize the biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized to the right, and we have to start doing something about that. Lemon then pondered solutions as Cuomo, a privileged white male whose father was a Democratic governor of New York, looked on. There's no travel ban on them, Lemon said. There's no ban on, they had the Muslim ban. There is no white guy ban. So what do we do about that? Cuomo responded by telling Lemon he was making the right point. Okay. Says, although critics quickly denounced the bizarre diatribe, CNN did not immediately respond. Of course, they didn't immediately respond. Fox News contributor DeRoy Murdoch said the racism coming from the left and mainstream media has become breathtaking, pointing to Lemon's comment at the latest example. Lemon's latest spurt of acid is a most unusual plea for national unity. We have to stop demonizing people, and then just 2 words later, a blast of divisiveness worthy of a machete, Murdoch said. Painting with a roller rather than a mere broad brush. Lemon slams millions of his fellow Americans. He does not say they are wrong, mistaken, or misinformed. Rather, they are a terror threat. So, I'm sure this guy probably will keep his job. Probably gets a little slap on the wrist from CNN, because this is exactly the kind of shit that they like to stir and controversy that keeps their fake news ratings going. So anyway, yeah, this is definitely a Jackwagon worthy candidate. So he's going to sit at the front of the Jackwagon train this week. But you guys can go again, Google this guy's name, whatever his name is, Don Lemon, and you can watch the video. The video's there, and then you can read the story behind that. But if anybody sees anything, and if he actually gets any kind of punishment from this, send that to me. I'd like to keep an update on this. So good Jackwagons, you guys. Jason K, Jerry B, and Jason F. Appreciate you guys sending those in. Any other lead heads got Jackwagons? Send them in, talkingled@gmail.com. In the subject, put Jackwagon or Jackwagon train. Okay, guys, so as a lot of you have probably seen on social media, some of the live posts that I've done, you know that our guests this week are going to be the judges from Master of Arms, and I hope all you lead heads have seen that by now, because we're going to have spoilers in this interview. So if you've not watched it yet, go watch it and then listen to the rest of this interview, this podcast. It's a great first episode to kick it off. Master of Arms, the premiere episode, was Friday, November the 2nd. It's going to be returning, I think, 8 more episodes every Friday at 9 Central. Check your local listings because it's going to vary. But we get Zeke Stout, former host here at Talking Lead with me, Lefty. Good buddy Zeke is the host of Master of Arms and a judge. And then we have 2 of the other judges on. We get Nick Irving, which Nick is a former Special Forces guy, and then Ashley Lubinsky, and Ashley is the historian of the show, and she is the curator for the Cody Firearms Museum. So let's get into this interview because it's a good one. But again, like I said, there's spoilers here.
Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert.
You've been warned, leadheads. So here we go.
Welcome back to this segment of Talking Lead, where we have 2 of the judges from the new show Master of Arms.
Actually, it's 3, because you're one of the judges,
that other
too.
guy sucks, though.
All right, lead heads, this is the part of the show you've been waiting for. We've been building up to. We have 3 of the 4 judges from Master of Arms, Discovery Channel's new. What kind of show would you call this?
It is a weapons building competition.
There you go. Like none other that has been previous or will come after it. So this is great.
You can try to say it was, but it wasn't.
No, not at all. So joining us, Zeke, do you want to do the introductions or do you want me to do the introductions?
Well, I can do that since I'm going to interview him. No, we've got Ashley Lubinsky. She is our resident historian, also the smartest of the 4 of us, and she judges the historical aspect of each weapons and the build, and she also throws in on the functionality and the aesthetics as well. Then we have Nick Irving, who is a former special operations ranger, sniper. Well, we had like 20 different titles for you, and we kept trying to announce you.
The shortest ones. I like, the shorter one.
The sniper.
All-American badass. How about that?
That's all, Chris. I was just the black guy on the show. No, I'm kidding.
And then not joining us is the other judge, Trenton Ty. He had prior commitments, so he can't be here to defend himself. So we'll bust on him.
That's perfect.
But no, thank you guys, Nick, Ashley, Zeke. We appreciate you taking the time. I know you guys are extremely busy doing your junket interviews all around the country. We're
sitting in my car,
sitting in the car waiting to get your hair did.
waiting to get my hairs did.
It looks fine. It looks fine.
Well, thank you.
You should just rock it just like that for the wedding.
Right?
Something Zeke didn't mention is Ashley is the chief curator at the Cody Firearms Museum in Wyoming.
I am.
You want to know why I didn't mention it?
I don't know.
Because I never get it right. I always say the wrong name.
And the head honcho at the museum. The head honcho.
I've said like Buffalo Bill Cody Wild West Gun Museum. I've said a combination of all those words.
You know, I think I've actually been there. It's been like, how long has it been in existence? Because I'm thinking like 10 years ago I was there.
So the center itself, like the big overarching organization, it's been there for over 100 years. The Firearms Museum, there was a smaller one in the 70s, and then the Cody Firearms Museum was put into place in 1991. So it was 10 years you came, and it probably looked about the same as it did until we started construction for the renovation. So I just noticed that Nick just took a snapshot.
Yeah. You got to get those posts, baby.
Send it to me. Send it to me.
You guys are the worst.
Wait, what?
Oh, forgot. Ash, her hair. My bad. Oh, we can't.
It's okay. We put a good filter on, we'll be fine.
I will. I'll put a lot of structure to it.
You asked about the Battle of Little Bighorn.
Yeah.
That is actually hours away up in Montana.
Okay.
The actual battlefield is, and really fascinating site because it's between both the National Park Service and the Indian Reservation.
Mm-hmm. I've been to it. Yeah, it's awesome.
I got a really unique opportunity like a year ago on the anniversary of the battle to go out with the Real Bird family that owns the kind of whole area. And we went on horseback.
Sweet.
And they gave the Native American perspective on the battle, which is really fascinating.
Very cool. And Nick, he was with the 75th Ranger Regiment, 3rd Ranger Battalion, which we've had another one of your fellow Rangers on the show.
Who?
He came out with I'll give you some hints and you see if you can tell. He just released a book within the past couple of months.
Yeah. I trained him as a sniper. Yeah. Martinez.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had him on the show too.
Okay, yeah.
So a little something in common.
When I was a sniper over there. What's that?
I said we got a little something in common there. Yeah, good dude. We spent some time in Florida together at the Big 3 East. We need to get you to come out to that.
Oh, that's what Big 3 East. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
Love to.
Yeah, it's a good time. So we want to talk about Master of Arms now. We want to talk about the TV show. And I guess we can do spoilers, and we can actually talk about the first episode. Zeke, you want to start the line of questioning? Because you're my guest host.
Yeah. I know that y'all have been doing these press junkets and had all these interviews where you give the same answer over and over and over again. So we came up with some more, interesting questions. So Ashley, Nick, who was the sweatiest on the show?
Oh.
Zeke.
Not even just like a little bit of sweat. It was clammy. Yeah. Really sweat.
I figured insane.
It was just spraying off of his forehead on everybody else.
I use this sweat for my sweat.
I have a picture of Zeke with all of the sweat clots.
You got to post that.
His forehead because they were trying to pat him down because he was just too shiny.
It's too shiny. They couldn't keep enough makeup for that big head.
It's because I was heavenly. No, it's because I was overweight and I was around a bunch of fires burning the whole time.
So
but I'm fixing that. Damn it! I'm down 30 pounds.
You are looking good. So, Master of Arms.
Pounds, but that was an accident.
That was an accident. So, Master of Arms just premiered November 2nd. Hopefully, all you lead heads have watched it on the Discovery Channel. How many episodes are you guys got scheduled for your first season?
8.
Got 8. Okay. So, is it going to be? It's going to be weekly, right?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So we got one down. You lead heads have seen it. I want you to send your comments in, talkinglead@gmail.com. Let me know what you thought about the show. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was great. I think you guys got a hit on your hands, without a doubt.
You liked it?
I did. I seriously did.
Was it weird? Was it weird seeing your former partner in crime
My buddy,
TV show.
seeing one of my buddies on national TV, yeah, it was a little different, yeah. But you made us proud, buddy.
Thank you.
You did
I still
good.
hadn't seen it, so I don't know.
Have you not watched
Well,
it?
at this point, I have seen it. I think this is airing on Saturday and Sunday. It was great.
So the Leadheads know that we got a little privilege. We got to view it beforehand. So I'm sure it's going to look even better once we see it Friday. I know it was a little rough cut, but it looked good. So was it cold where you guys were filming in that warehouse? Because Ashley's wearing gloves.
It was freezing.
Oh wait, in the first episode?
In episode 1, yeah.
Well, I was wearing gloves in that because I fired the axe pistol. Well, I was cold, but it was because I was firing the axe pistol. But it was very cold for a long time. It would go between being like freezing to being like 100+ degrees.
Oh wow!
It was the weirdest thing. There's actually a picture of me laying on the couch in our green room. I have a blanket on. My hands are up by the heater. And the makeup person is applying my makeup so that I can be close enough to the heater because I would just shake because I was so cold.
I figured it had to do something with that. Either that or it's a historical piece that you're holding, and I assumed you didn't want to get your, the hand grease on it and whatnot. But
well, every piece that we, unveil on the show is not from the museum, so the same rules do not apply. You bring a museum gun in, though, and you'll be having some really sexy nitrile gloves on.
Right. So that was going to be one of my questions. Where do the models come from, the weapons that you guys have on the show?
Trent made the crossbow.
Okay. We can't talk about that one yet.
But did he make the one that you guys unveiled? Did he make that one?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought, okay, yeah.
And we can talk about that. We can talk about that because it's in the promos.
The crossbow is?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, yes, that's right. Yeah, he did. Wow, man.
So that's in an upcoming episode with the crossbow.
There's a great video that Nick has of me trying to shoot that crossbow, and I've got a pinched nerve in my elbow, and so my wrist is really screwed up right now, and I'm very weak. I've had many surgeries, and so every time I went to actually fire it, I would jostle it just enough that the bolt would just go boop and fall on the ground.
What's that sound effect again? Boop?
Boop, boop. Yeah, that's the noise it makes. That's a historical fact.
Yeah. So are the episodes released in the order that you filmed them?
No.
Okay. I kind of figured that would be the case. So the first episode 1, which all the Leadheads have seen now, which we're going to talk about a little bit,
that was the first one we filmed, though.
The Battle Axe?
That was in order, yep.
Okay,
that was in order.
Okay, well, cool. So that was the Battle Axe, and then you went on to progress to the Flintlock Axe Pistol, which was badass. And I kind of had a psychic moment when I interviewed Zeke the first time, and we were given spoilers. Yeah. I had posted a picture of a historical gun. It was actually the Flintlock Axe Pistol is the picture that I posted with my promotional.
I did not tell him, I swear. He said, here's the thumbnail for the show, and I looked at it, I was like, dude, how did you...
So, how do you guys go about picking the firearms or the weapons for each episode? How's that done?
Well, a lot of with the first season, the production company was getting the first season together while still trying to cast us. And so a lot of the challenges were done by research from them. And I know from my experience, I know people would ask questions of me and Trent as well for how long would it take something, to make something like this. And so we gave feedback, especially as we were adjusting the challenges throughout the season. But a lot of the major things, the production and crew did an amazing job tracking down these random obscure weapons throughout history. And so I think we kind of hit the jackpot with the crew.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that was the perfect pick for your premiere episode. It was really good. So how do you get the contestants? How do you go about picking the contestants for the show?
All behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Beyond, I think, our pay grade at that point.
So that goes beyond you guys. Is there like an audition process?
We gave some input, and they had been researching a lot of people. the process, they had to vet them. You know, they had to do a background check. We had to make sure everybody was safe. I think they even did like a psych eval, which is good.
I had to do a psych eval.
Yeah. So we had to do the psych evals, which is a good thing. Then we vetted them professionally. You know, where did they work? How long have they been doing it? Send us some images of your work. And they put together a really good cast this season. I don't think we had one episode where it was like,
they don't belong on the show kind of thing. Yeah. So your contestants this episode 1, you had Dustin Rhodes. Any relation to Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream?
No, but I'll tell you this. This is why I was so excited about this interview, because we can kind of say anything. It's not as, feels as scripted. But when we walked out on set and Dustin was standing there, he had this look on his face like he was going to kill all three of us immediately. It was like, oh, God, he wins. He automatically wins. I don't care what anybody says. He wins.
Dustin was hilarious.
Yeah, on film, he definitely had the most outgoing personality, I would say.
So you saw the first episode with Dustin?
Yeah.
Did he pee in a cup on the episode?
They alluded to it.
Yes.
So,
yes.
For the record, I found out on a phone call with these guys that even happened. I had no idea, and that was a month ago.
Well, thank God he didn't do it in front of you, so at least he's got some tact.
Yeah.
And I want to know why you weren't in the gunsmith blacksmith room, Nick.
The gunsmith blacksmith.
Where they were doing all the work making the weapons.
The armory.
The armory. Thank you.
I live out on that range, so they come out. I just trained all day. That's the part that they don't show you guys. They have to put, the contestants on there. But what I'm doing is, for hours and hours, I have my, rucksack out there. I sleep out there. I train out there. So when they bring the weapons out, I'm ready to,
You're jazzed up, ready to go.
Oh, yeah. They meet me. Yeah, they meet me. I stay out there.
There you go. They come to you. They bring the show to Nick.
That's my range. That's my battleground.
I took him breakfast one morning and he was doing push-ups, and then I went back after lunch and he was still on the same set of push-ups. So constant push-ups all day long. That's all he does. So
1,000 an hour, right?
But when you see the show, you'll see it pays off, and you also see that I don't do push-ups very much.
Well, like you said, you're getting in shape. I think you've inspired him, Nick. So that's a good thing.
Yes.
No joke. Zeke, you do look... when I saw you last, 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago? Yeah.
Oh, dude. I mean, you glowed. You had a glow. You look good. I see you found your cup.
I found my cup.
Where's this cup at? The Letty?
It's in the truck.
Okay. All right. You need to carry around your evil black assault mug, the talking Letty. The other contestants, we had Eric Vaughn, and I'm going to screw this up, Ash Vega.
I like that.
Yeah,
we didn't try that one on the show. I think we said Ashwig. I think we said Ashwige.
Well, he pronounces it on the trailer that I saw. Ash Vega.
Ash Wedge.
Ash Vega is how he says it. So I'm just going with how he pronounced it.
He wouldn't be insulted if I said ass wedge. He would actually probably think it was funny.
Well, there's a lot of ass references on the show. We'll get to that, but
there is.
And then you had Shrek. Is this his real name, Shrek? Shrek Gad.
Yep.
And
he's a cool guy.
Former Army Special Forces. Yeah, he seemed like a really cool... I mean, I got to say, I liked his the best out of all of them.
Shrek was SF?
That's what it says on his thing. Did they get it wrong?
Well, no, he did. We didn't know.
They actually tried to... They kept us pretty much out of the loop on the backgrounds of these people so that we could come in
stay impartial.
We may have Facebook stalked them a bunch. But yeah, that one thing was that we really didn't know their backgrounds until we talked to them, because we talked to every contestant after they were either eliminated or they won. And we got to know them a little bit that way, and we've since gotten to know a lot of them. But yeah, we purposefully tried to stay ignorant to a lot of their backgrounds.
Okay, that makes sense. So you can stay impartial in the judging process.
Because as soon as Nick heard Army, he would have been like, Shrek wins.
This guy gets it. Right?
Well, I got to say, I liked his axe the best. I thought he had, even though it wasn't the sharpest, as you're saying, I liked it. I thought it was cool.
That handle was a beast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first round, the three of them go at it. They're building the battle axe, and each one's got their own idea of the battle axe. So you guys lay out a list of criteria that they've got to try to meet or exceed, I guess. Some of them tried to go above and beyond, which to their detriment, I think, didn't work out on some of them. But so talk about how the process works, how the show works, how the competition works.
I think Zeke's texting.
Yeah, that's Zeke.
No, I'm playing with a straight razor.
Oh.
And as everybody knows, Zeke is ADD bad.
Yep. So the process goes, we walk out on stage, Ashley, Trent, myself, and we say, welcome to the Armory. We tell them this is the first build you're going to be building. Ashley goes into the historical significance of it, hand it off to Trent. Trent says, this is what it's going to take to build this. Then we go up on the catwalk and we watch them for 4 to 6 hours.
I was going to ask, because they've got a certain amount of time to do that. Do you guys stay on that catwalk the entire time?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
You do not.
The whole time we do.
That is no joke. Like sitting, I had a chance to see from behind the scenes, but those guys stood the entire time.
Yeah, it was crazy. And it got hot.
Well, I'm going to be more honest.
Thank you, Ashley.
So it really depended on what the challenge was. So some of the challenges are so small, and technical, that it's up on that catwalk that you can see a lot, but then you also can't see a lot of the minutia of what they're doing. And so a lot of the times we would actually come down and go into the control room where you can see, because there's a camera on every person. And so we actually were able to see more sometimes when we were down in the control room watching things happen. Because it's just, there are some challenges that it's like, and I didn't have my glasses on ever, but I never do. And so I'd be like, yeah, it looks like they're doing something cool over there. So we would kind of bounce back and forth between sitting down and then going up and standing on the catwalk. Because I get tired. So.
Yeah. I don't think anybody expected that you guys would stand there for 4 to 7 hours or 4 days.
I don't know if you noticed it, but I was wearing high heels in every single episode. So,
so you're really 3 feet tall?
What's that?
I said, so you're really 3 feet tall then?
With heels, I'm 3 feet. Yeah.
Next to Zeke, I mean, you look like you're,
There was a lot of time. There was a lot of times where, Ashley would be like, oh, what kind of hammer is that they're using on the equipment? And we're like, that's a Phillips screwdriver. That's
no,
I'm just kidding.
It's not that bad, was it, Ashley?
No, it's not that bad.
Speaking of...
but we would be up there for an hour and a half a lot, a lot of the times, especially if something was really seriously going on. So we were still up there for long chunks of time. And then, like I said, come down to the control room and see it zoomed in so you can actually see what people are working on and their attitudes about it. They mess with us sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I noticed that
things up at us.
In the first episode, Trenton actually goes down and he's interacting and talking and, asking him some things with that big feather hat that he's got on.
We called that the Trent Trot.
Did it? With all the fire and everything going on down there, did it ever get singed?
Actually, I think it did.
Did it catch
Didn't he
fire?
say one of the feathers somebody caught it or something? I don't remember.
I don't know. We watched it that one time. We were like,
Y'all were placing bets on whether it would catch fire, weren't you?
Yeah.
Actually, one time we had a picnic, Zeke and I, up there by ourselves. It was really lovely.
We did. We sat down. We
roasted marshmallows,
swinging our feet on the catwalk, and it was cute.
Yeah.
No, but even when we did take breaks and we went back for water, like Ashley said, we were watching them the whole time, whether it was on a screen or up on the catwalk. So we had to make sure and see the crazy stuff they did or the awesome stuff they did. Or now I've covered our legal.
So where was this filmed? Can you guys talk about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've said it in a bunch of interviews. So.
All right.
Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Oh,
actually, that's a lie. We were in Bath, Pennsylvania.
Bath.
Which is right next to Bethlehem.
So the big warehouse that you guys have, I guess you call it your armory.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what's called, the armory?
Yep.
So is that where you guys go every episode? Is that where it's filmed every episode?
Yes. Unless we went out to the range where Nick would get mad because we were interrupting his workout.
Yeah.
Hey, boy, give me your gun.
Give me this thing. I'm ready to go, man. I can tell, though, because you were like into it when you were testing them. So once the final round comes and they get the final weapon that they're going to test, Nick gets it and just gives it hell. And you can tell you're jazzed about it, man, because it's like you're being timed or something.
I don't think I was jazzed. That was jazzed up. No, I don't think I was jazzed up. It was a little bit on the demonic side. No, it was a good time. I got a chance to go back and I got a chance to go back and relive a life that I lived a few years ago. A life that I try to forget, but it's always cool to go back and turn on a switch and no one actually gets hurt. So I got a chance to hit some swinging pigs and shoot guns, and no one's shooting back and no one's going to chop my head off. So I had a good time.
Do you get to choose the obstacles that you're doing or the test subjects?
No, that was all production. They did an amazing job when it came to that. That's something I couldn't, I think my obstacle course would have looked a little bit different, like the basic training portion, and it would have probably been resembling of like the Air Force. No offense to the Air Force. Zeke, no, but
hey,
no.
You would have loved getting massages as big as
right? We could have massaged
mani pedis
before we shot them. Could have gave the little pig massages, but I didn't get a chance to choose anything. It was an experience to go through. I think that they did an amazing job, and they pushed had a chance to push the weapons to their limit or how it would perform on a battle.
On season 2, I just recommend that they bring you into and consult on the obstacles next time. Just saying. I'm
going to be busy doing push-ups and sit-ups. I probably would have moved on to sit-ups at that time, so I don't know if I have time for that.
Okay. All right. I'm just trying to get your input on the show, man. I think it would give it a whole nother level.
I'm a ranger. I just like to mess stuff up. That was our whole mission. Entire job set was go to this small little grid square and level it. Yeah.
So like you saw, he gets pretty intense when he tests it.
He does.
And to give you a little behind the scenes secret, the first day he did it, he was like, okay, I got to get in the mindset, guys. And he starts doing this little breathing thing, and we all took like a couple steps back. And then Nick walks up to me and goes, hit me. And I was like, all right. And I just kind of smacked him. He goes, no, come on, hit me harder. So I smacked him a little harder. And he was like, no, like really hurt me. And I was like, okay. And so like I would just waylay him.
And Zeke's a big guy. How much did you weigh? You were like 3.
I was like 310, 315 when we were filming
that's a professional linebacker size. That's,
yeah.
That's a professional WWF wrestler.
Yeah. I always knew when I hit him hard enough because he would get this look and then kind of glance at me like he was about to hit me, but then redirect his rage towards the court. I was like, okay, he's good now. And then I'd run and hide behind something.
No, Zeke's a good motivator. He's got those bear paws, man.
I'm telling you, that's like getting slapped by a bear.
Right?
You're lucky you still got your head. So, when the contestants are doing the builds, I know there's a bunch of material and things there in the armory. On this first one, we're talking about the battle axe. Did they have an opportunity to pick different kinds of metals, or is this like, all right, everybody uses the same metal, everybody uses the same wood kind of thing?
So when I tell them everything you need to complete this build is here in the armory, I don't know if they showed, in the background, the racks of wood and metal and everything. That's not just for show. It's not just, set decoration. There's different kinds of metals. There's really, really poor metals. And there's a couple of episodes where you're going to see somebody make a poor decision on their metal.
That's great. I love that.
Same thing with wood. There's some wood that's harder than others, and you may see somebody make the wrong decision on that. And so, yeah, they got to choose. We didn't say, here's a kit, build it. It's like, no, there's a pile of junk. Go make something cool.
Have at. Yeah. So, with that first, the battle axe, we're talking about Nick gets to test the final product. The intermittent one, Zeke, on this one, the battle axe, once they do their battle axe build, you actually get a little hands-on.
Mm-hmm. I did.
Hands-on axe.
Got my hands on their axe and swung it.
To quote Zeke, you've got 1 hour until I get my hands on these axes.
Yeah!
There's the ass reference I'm talking about.
Oh man.
Yeah. I got my hands on their axes and I
swung
them at some wood.
So talk about that experience, Zeke.
It was fun. It was a little nerve-wracking at first because none of us knew how it was going to go until that first day. And then we got in there and we started seeing it. And I asked them, I was like, what do I need to do? What is a certain place I need to hit it? And they're like, okay, see that spot right there? Hit it as hard as you can. I was like, okay. And, I didn't know what was going to happen when I hit the metal. Was it going to bounce off the metal and come back at me or anything? But they had it planned out really well.
So I was going to ask how many weeks beforehand did you practice chopping wood and splitting wood before
0.
you did it? They give you no notice?
I grew up splitting wood in my backyard, dadgummit.
You can tell Zeke he's chopped some wood down before.
I have chopped some wood down before.
Chopped a couple of trees. Yeah. Yep. So yep. I was gonna critique your form, but that's okay. I mean,
go for it.
No,
I can take it.
I'm just kidding. Hey,
it was good baseball form though. I had my palms up as I was swinging.
You did step into it. Yeah. Kept your wrist locked. You did good. You did.
Did it look cool in slow mo? That's all I want to know.
Everything in slow mo looked good. The chops, the bullets going through the glass, hitting the balloon.
Nice.
Yeah.
The hitting the pigs. You could really see that.
I didn't get it. Yeah, that felt pretty good. That felt good.
Yeah. So Ashley, how come you don't get any cool slow mo action
like that?
They're letting Nate Fickinson. I'll ask.
Oh no! When you were saying the bullets going through the glass, I saw that in real time. I can only imagine what it looked like going slow mo.
So I can't believe you guys haven't seen this yet.
Yeah.
At this point in time.
I mean, we did see it.
We did see it. Okay.
There's no preconceived notions with Talking Lead. We didn't see it yet. we're recording this on Thursday.
I've seen. I haven't seen the final. You knew that.
I know.
I was in New York, had some meetings at the Met, and our production company's out of there. So when I was there this summer, I saw the version that went to the focus group. So I'm sure it's changed a bunch, but I saw a rough of it, and it was pretty cool.
Well, the one they're giving to the media, it's a rough cut. It's not the final edit, so it's going to be a lot more polished.
We may have seen the same one.
We may have.
Did they leave?
Actually, we fast forwarded through a bunch of it, so because we didn't have a lot of time, so I haven't seen I saw most of it, but there were parts that we moved.
Did they leave in my visit to the workshop when they're working for the 3 days?
That might have been when we fast forwarded.
No, because I was going to ask, you guys, whether while there's the beginning where they're doing the acts and they've got however many hours, there's a visit down there. You guys go down, interact, but for the 4-day build, there's no interaction. I was like, what? Do you guys just take a vacation?
No. Actually, what we would do, we would get through that first half of each episode. And we'd send them for the 4 days. Then we'd start another episode. So while they're in there for 4 days, we're doing 1 or 2 or 3 other episodes first half. And then we would rotate them through. So that's kind of how that worked out.
But my question to Ashley was, I mean, these two guys get some awesome slow-mo time. How come you don't get any slow-mo time?
My boobs aren't big enough.
She got plenty of slow-mo time. What you don't realize is she was really, really fast walking out there. They had to slow-mo her walking out to even up.
She's like a marsupial. She's so fast.
Well, no, there's one scene because Trent and I are in the background during the testing. And there's one scene that I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the actual episode, but Zeke's got a great video. And I don't want to give anything away, but he's testing out one of the weapons. And he does something super badass. And my face in slow-mo goes from being resting bitch face, unimpressed, to just my jaw was
And if that gets cut out, it will end up on Instagram because I have that video.
Is that on a later episode or is that this episode?
No, that's a later episode.
It's a later episode.
Something to look forward to.
It's a moment where when it happens, part of me wanted to go, Raw! And then the other part of me was like, oh my God, did I do that?
And then the third part should have been be cool. Act like you've been there before.
Be cool. Yeah, I've done this. Do this every weekend. Yeah.
So
why I sound like this, I don't know.
What?
So like Ashley said earlier, I mean, these are some awesome weapons that are being being made on this show. What happens at the end of the show with the weapons? What happens to them? Do they go to the museum?
That has actually been a topic of conversation, especially if there's a season 2, but we came in too late in the game for season 1, but I'm definitely angling for that for season 2.
Yeah.
If we have a season 2, let me just be super confident. Yes, season 2.
We will. Maybe by the time this airs, we've already got it ordered.
I don't know if it happens all that fast, but
yeah, I don't think the ratings come in till Monday, so
they come in that quick. Yeah, they'll come in that quick, won't they?
Zeke, are you saying the weapons after we get done testing them, like once the show's over, happen?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, if you want to handle it, go for it.
Oh, they get thrown away, right? Thrown away.
We don't just throw them in the dumpster.
Throw them in the dumpster.
We have to destroy them. Yeah.
They get thrown back in the forge, huh?
Yeah, it's got to.
That's a shame.
There's some amazing things, but I mean, you really got to cover your ass when it comes to stuff like this. You know, if they end up in the wrong hands, some weird reason, you don't want any liability falling on your company.
Yeah, but if they turn it over to a museum, like
yeah, exactly.
You know, that would be phenomenal. I mean, you could set up your own little Master of Arms section in the. Whatever, you know?
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I'm already there. I was
way ahead of me.
To work on it because I mean, it would be like one season. It's like, look at this great show, and then if we don't get picked up for a second season, it'd be like, look at this show that was on TV.
Which would make it even more rare, right?
Exactly.
No, but there's going to be a second
ball
season.
And chain flails ended up in anybody's backpack or anything. So. I'm just kidding.
Wow,
I bought this. Oh yeah. You're not showing the video. So to the audience at home, I'm holding up this multiple ball and chain flail because in my my audition process, they wanted me to get a bunch of weapons and walk around a location, picking them up and handling them. So I bought off Amazon. They're cheap. You don't want to use them for anything.
What did they run off Amazon?
Huh?
What's the price on Amazon for one of those things?
That was like $20.
Do they work? They work?
You're going to get what you pay for.
Fight, but yeah, it probably hurt somebody pretty bad.
Oh, you wouldn't use it in a fight. Never mind.
Well, I mean,
keep that.
Nick's going to go get him one now.
There's 4 balls, and I'm sitting here handling 4 balls.
I'm like,
Zeke's fondling 4 balls now.
All 4 of those.
4 balls. It looks like they've got herpes on them. So, okay.
That's some spiky ass herpes.
So you guys got to help me keep Zeke focused. Zeke, as the co-host, do you have more questions for our guest?
I do. Who is stronger, Zeke or Nick?
Zeke.
Okay, and who
is that odor-wise or physical-wise?
Sheer body mass. Sheer body mass.
And who is stronger, Zeke or Ashley?
Ashley.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Ashley.
Didn't you pick Zeke up though at one point?
He did. You did pick me. Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, because you were riding around on my back, and you're like, "Let me see if I can pick you up."
Oh, and you cradled me. That is correct.
That's right. Yeah.
And you cradled me. I hope you've got pictures of all that.
Never mind.
I have lots of pictures of a lot of that.
I have a good picture of Ashley eating lunch one day.
Y'all do a lot of eating on the show. Speaking of eating, how was the catering and the craft services?
It was phenomenal.
It was good. Yeah, that was.
Oh, it was so good. But that would lead to the next a question of who was the gassiest on set.
Zeke.
Negative.
No?
Negative.
Trenton.
No.
Ashley.
So a little backstory. I learned after the show that I am lactose intolerant, and milkshakes may have been had on the set from time to time while I was in denial of my lactose.
The milkshake
from Sheets.
Yeah, the milkshake day. Everybody was equally.
But I think the greatest moment of that day, though, was when I farted, like, on set. But I'm so short that it took, like, several seconds to reach Zeke's nose. And when it did, oh, man, the look on your face.
I hope they got that footage.
You did a backflip off the catwalk. Now, you got to be careful with that when you're down around the forges, you know.
Yeah.
That could be dangerous.
I was pointing the other direction. We were fine.
Speaking of that, are there going to be any flamethrowers on the show? Maybe
not season 1.
But anything is possible.
We're all the weapons. Hashtag all the weapons.
Yeah, all of them.
Hashtag all the weapons. I like that. That's good.
So we used to ask this question when I was on Talking Lead. and I'm going to ask it of two of you. What is your favorite gun-related movie, Ashley?
Oh God. Oh God. No, Nick, go first. Because I want to think. I think.
Heat.
Heat.
Boom.
Good one.
That's in the top 10 of our most answered. Yeah.
And you officially gave Ashley no time to think about it.
Yeah.
Boom.
You know what? It's Serenity.
Nice.
Serenity. Nice.
Oh, Serenity's a good one, but now she makes me question.
I didn't know you were a
Sorry,
brown
though.
coat.
Oh, I am a brown coat. It was in my fun facts.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was
Serenity
Joe
stuff.
Mo answered that.
Yep.
Serenity was his.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, the reason I like it is so I do some work sometimes with Independent Studio Services, Prop House, and you can go and they have some of the guns from Serenity, and I think they only have the guns from Serenity. I don't think they have the props from Firefly, but the
Is that Larry Zanoff?
mare's leg that Zoe has is the same is based off of Steve McQueen's character from Wanted Dead or Alive. And so I think it's perfect because it's one of those things where it's like this is like the perfect fusion of like sci-fi and Western. I mean, they have a freaking brothel shootout. Like that's fantastic.
That's
It's
cool.
Firefly, not Serenity. But and so I think it's really cool that they like taken some of the like I think Miles Gun's like a Taurus that's been modified. It's been a long time since I've seen it in person. But so like you get these like weird fusion weapons, and then you
Right.
randomly get a mare's leg that's a total Western icon gun, and so it's cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
So,
So
do y'all know what Zeke's favorite gun-related movie is?
Anything with the high point in it.
Good answer,
Deadpool,
but wrong.
Deadpool.
Nice.
Cool.
Ashley nailed
Oh,
it.
you know what I was going to say, Zeke? The movie that we went to go see when we were all down there together.
Oh, Super
Super
Troopers
Troopers.
2.
That's what I was- yeah,
Super Troopers. That is so crazy. So you know Larry, Ashley. Larry Zanoff?
I love Larry.
Yeah. So Larry and I took a training course down in Florida together, IDF training, Israeli Defense Forces,
Yep.
together. He and I were roommates. I got to know Larry pretty good. He's a great guy.
Yeah, I know Larry, Carl, and Greg. But I always, anytime I'm in California, I go bug them. Larry let me
Why
shoot
wouldn't you?
the grease gun, right? They were out doing shots because I'm also on Gun Stories on the Outdoor Channel with Joe Montana. There's my plug. But they were doing a bunch of filming with the guns, and I was in town, so he let me shoot the grease gun, which is pretty neat.
Very cool. So I know we got to wrap this up. Give me the highlights, your favorite highlights of doing Master of Arms. We'll start with Ashley.
Nice.
I always go first. Highlights of doing Master of Arms. Honestly, it really goes to the craftsmen. We got to talk to them after, they kind of keep us sequestered away from them until, they're either eliminated or they win. And just hearing their stories. And a lot of us have gotten really close with the craftspeople since the show. But then the other thing that I think is really cool, a lot of times when you see on competition shows, there's so much drama and fighting, and there's going to be obviously a competitive spirit. A lot of the craftsmen, especially the people that had to spend 4 days together, a lot of them are like lifelong friends now.
Yeah,
like they became like so.
I was
close,
gonna
and they're
ask
still hanging out.
during the competition, and I didn't see that they showed it any on this first episode. But do they help one another? Do they give tips? And because that one guy had no idea how to use some of the machinery and.
Eric? They do give tips in some of the episodes, especially when you see a lot of the
cool.
kind of younger craftsmen, older craftsmen, or when someone really gets in and out of their element. There is some of that happens, or I heard that happen because I didn't really watch those 4 days transpire. But yeah, it was crazy. There's two people in particular that I'm not going to say, but I'm thinking about, and they're like besties, and it's the coolest thing on the planet.
Nice. Nick.
Yeah, I want to have to just say the same thing. Watching the shooting the weapons and testing them out, that was cool. But I had a chance to see on the big screen, so that's what I would be doing instead of being out in the range doing push-ups. I got a chance to stay and be in the control room for as long as Zeke and Ashley were there. 9 times out of 10, if I wasn't like at a range or something like that, I would watch in and watch the entire creation of some of these weapons be put into or before I got my hands on them. So I think that was one of the coolest things. And the little, I guess, personal notes or personal touches they would put on there. Some of the weapons was, the story behind that was, I think that's how legends and, history is made. Just little pieces of stories of personal input on a weapon has a more, satisfaction or more of an importance than the actual weapon itself, the influence behind it, those little personal touches. Yeah. So getting a chance to know that, see that.
Cool. Zeke?
I've had, a few different answers for all of our interviews, and they were very professional, like Nick and Ashley just gave, but I'm not going to give a professional answer on this show. I liked it when we got I like that we got the cops called on us.
Oh, God, yes. I texted Nick, or not Nick, I texted Zeke this morning because the Lehigh Valley paper wrote about it.
Yeah, and Nick posted it on Instagram.
It's not a show until the cops get called.
Yeah.
Right?
So as you know, muzzle loaders, the velocity of that projectile is not very fast. So we had to get the low velocity tannerite, and we had a tannerite explosion. Well, we had it behind a pie plate, and there was a lot in there, a lot more than we thought was going to be in there.
A lot.
Yeah. And Nick lines up his long rifle, and he's ready, and we're all just smiling. Boo!
Like an Iraq veteran load.
Yeah, it was completely safe. We were far enough away. I wasn't worried about that, but it was loud. Next thing you know, we got the cops pulling up.
Awesome.
So what's going on here? Of course, we notified them ahead. We took all the right precautions, so they knew. I think more they came out because it gave them an excuse to come see what we were doing on set. So
yeah.
But they were really cool. They actually stayed for that whole day.
I hope they edit that into that episode because that would be cool.
That would be awesome.
That would be really funny.
I would love to see that. So, Leadheads, make sure that you tune in to the Discovery Channel. Is it every Friday night is when you guys are going to have it?
Every Friday night at 9 Central, 10 Eastern.
9 Central,
and
10
also,
Eastern.
Ashley, didn't you find out it's 10 Pacific too?
So the press release says 10 Eastern and Pacific, but I'm in Arizona right now and it's on at 7. So I would say check your local listing. That's what
Good
I say.
answer.
But it's on the Discovery Channel.
Yes, the Discovery Channel.
Yep. And I've got one final question for the two of you. What is the airspeed velocity of a swallow?
What?
Swallow?
Swallowing what liquid?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What's swallowing? Are we swallowing something? Or
Has nobody seen Monty Python? Oh my God.
The bird.
Like
Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
Nick and I took it to a third place in our head.
Right?
Y'all really went crazy. I was just trying to get a Monty Python reference out of you. No, y'all went, okay. All right. Next season's going to be a little weird.
So real quick, give your social medias, your websites, your personal, Ashley.
Okay, so 2 different that you can follow. We've got the Cody Firearms Museum on Instagram, Twitter. We have a Reddit account, which gets weird, and Facebook. And then my accounts, I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And I'm Ashley Lubinsky, if you can figure out how to spell that, on all of those.
HLEBINSKY?
Correct, sir?
Shoot.
Off the top.
Look at me go.
Look at you.
Nick.
Yeah, official Reaper 33 on Instagram, Nicholas Irving on Facebook and Twitter, I believe. And other than that, or is it Irving.Nicholas on Twitter? It doesn't matter.
Type it in. Up Nicholas Irving, you can probably find it.
Talk about your book real quick. Where can people get your book?
Worldwide, and a few different languages if you read different languages too. So yeah, there's like
title
3 of them. The Reaper, Reaper Goes Target, Way of the Reaper, and next year Reaper Threat Zero. And we just got picked up for a few more installments. So a lot of that going on.
Maybe a movie? Maybe a movie coming, huh?
Hey. I don't know.
I think I'd be a great character in your movie. So just keep that in mind.
Now that you mention it, hey, if it does come about, I see that rifle in the back you got there. And that little logo or emblem right above that. Was that JSOC? SOCOM.
Yeah, baby.
So yeah, you're in.
That boy.
I'm playing Vic Harwood.
Who's that?
Read the books, right?
That accent that you had earlier, Zeke, you could probably pull off Vic.
Vic Harwood?
Yeah, the accent that you had, like, why am I talking in this accent?
What was I doing? I don't even remember what it was.
So we'll have you 2 guys on. We'll talk about your book in another episode. How about that?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Zeke?
My social media is everything Zeke _Stout. except for Facebook. They won't let me change it to that. It's official Zeke on Facebook. And a call to action to all the lead heads. Nick, it doesn't matter. He's like super popular on Instagram. But I think me and Ashley are getting throttled back as our followers because we've had like 1.2 million people being shared to, and we've gotten like 3 followers.
Yeah, same thing happens with Talking
Like
Lead.
a couple
I
hundred,
but I can still use some love.
yeah, maybe like
Send it all their way. Yeah.
I put my Halloween costume on last night, so I'm gonna get plenty.
What were you?
Padme.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Star
Padme
Wars.
after her stuff gets ripped. Yeah.
Star Wars fan. Very good.
Good. Look very good.
Did
I
you
was
dress
impressed.
up? I know you got kids, Zeke. Real quick, Halloween. What were your kids?
My daughter was Dorothy, and my son, was a Fortnite Skull Trooper.
Nice.
Everything is Fortnite.
Okay.
Lexi was the chick from Fortnite. I know nothing about Fortnite, but Lexi was a Fortnite character.
I want to make enough money to buy Fortnite, which is like impossible, and then burn Fortnite to the ground.
This is buy the whole franchise. Yeah, it's a bazillion dollars right now. Nick, what about you? Did you do anything for Halloween?
Stayed at home and did some witchcraft. No, I didn't do anything much really. I don't really.
Handed out candy. That's all I did.
I did watch some Netflix. Yeah.
Okay.
Netflix and YouTube.
Very cool. The new Daredevil is out. Great season on Daredevil. But Leadheads, make sure you go to Discovery Channel, watch Master of Arms every Friday, and go to Nick's, Ashley, Zeke, Trenton. I'm sure he's got social medias too. Wish he could have been on.
We forget it. It doesn't matter. Go to their pages.
Go to their pages. Let them know you're Leadheads. Let them know you like the show. And hopefully we'll have you guys on again. Maybe we could do like a weekly after show kind of thing with you guys.
Cool.
Would love to do that. So tune in, guys. We'll be back with more of the Talking Lead podcast. And Zeke, you wanted a monumental episode. This is 270. This is Talking Lead episode 270.
Nice.
As in the round.
Every episode I've gone back for, except for one, has been like some cool, like the 200th episode or something like that.
Hey, Zeke, what's that? 2?
Uh-oh.
Hey-o.
Nice.
Hey.
All right, guys. So Master of Arms on Discovery Channel. Make sure you guys go and check that out every Friday. I believe it's 9 Central, but again, check your local listings. The times vary. Make sure you go and you show Zeke, Ashley, Nick some love. Go to their social media pages. Go to their Facebook pages. Go to Discovery Channel. Let them know what you think about the show. There's a thread going now, I think, on one of their posts on Facebook. There's some people that are being pretty harsh, so we need the Leadhead Brigade to jump in there and take care of some of those trolls that are trolling the Master of Arms Facebook page. But as we recorded that, it was Thursday. The show hadn't released yet, and they swore up and down they hadn't seen it yet. But I did get to see that little junket version, the media junket version of the show, which there was a few different things on it, but for the most part, it was pretty right on, pretty spot on. But yeah, I enjoyed the show, so can't recommend it enough for you guys. We did get a chance to watch it Friday. We had alluded to the fact that we were going to do a viewing party. Zeke was putting together a viewing party at one of our friends' restaurants there in Nashville, and it was a good turnout. Rob Pincus was there, Hickok 45, John Hickok, 10 Outdoors 9. If you guys remember Tommy, he was there. It was great seeing Tommy again. We're actually going to try to get him on the show coming up. He's a wealth of knowledge. You know, we were talking ballistics in our last AK corner, or a couple of AK corners ago, and he is a savant when it comes to ballistic information and data. So we had a really good time there, and it was good seeing everybody. And it was really good to see one of our fellow Leadheads doing great things and being featured on the Discovery Channel. So, make sure you guys go and show them the Leadhead Brigade love. And speaking of showing love, make sure you guys go to all our sponsors. Without them, this show would not be possible. Ride On Optics. You can go to Ride On Optics, or you can go to rideonusa.com. Both of those links will take you to their website. And you can check out their full line of scopes and red dots and accessories that you need for your scopes. They've got them there at rightonoptics.com. Modern Spartan Systems. Don't just clean your firearms, optimize them with Modern Spartan Systems line of accuracy oil, carbon destroyer, copper lead destroyer, and they've even got some cleaner for your glass. And of course, the TVT green oil additive. You add that to anything that's got an engine, and you're going to do it a favor. Trust me. I run it in the lead sled. I run it in all our vehicles here at the lead quarters. I even run it in our generators and our pressure washers. Pretty much anything that's got an engine, I put it in there, and it makes it run quieter, and it extends the life, and it protects all those parts inside there. ModernSpartanSystems.com. X-Steel targets. I don't think you guys are going to be able to find a more affordable AR-500 steel target out there, especially with the quality that X-Steel targets puts into theirs. The variety that they offer, you guys go to xsteeltargets.com, check that out. 1776 United, get your Talking Lead t-shirts, your Talking Lead patches, Leadhead Brigade shirts, Leadhead patches. We've got a new tumbler that we're going to be working on with them. So you guys go 1776united.com for all your Talking Lead swag. The Talking Leady Evil Black Assault mugs, you can get those at dip123.com/Talking Lead. Those are still available. And with the holidays coming up, makes a great gift. So go check them out. The Talking Leady, better than a Yeti, keeps your drinks minutes colder. And then you guys go and just inundate and flood Kel-Tec with Leadhead Brigade goodness. Let them know that you are stoked to have them as our newest sponsors of the Talking Lead podcast, Kel-Tec Weapons. You guys know Kel-Tec. We've had them on the show many times. Their products are awesome. They make the Kel-Tec Sub 2000. If you guys haven't seen that or you've never shot one of those, they're 9mm 40 caliber pistol carbines. They are awesome. They fold up, fit in a backpack, fit in your truck. Great for hiking, camping. Really cool guns. And then, of course, their bullpups are second to none. The RDBs, the RFBs, the KSG shotguns. All their rifles, all their shotguns are phenomenal. And they've got that awesome PMR 30, little 22 Magnum pistol. It's awesome as well. You guys go to keltecweapons.com. You see their full line of firearms and accessories. They've even got cool accessories. They've got knives. They've got safety glasses. They've got keychains. They've got koozies. They used to have flashlights. I'm not sure if they still have the flashlights or not, but I've got a couple of those and absolutely love their flashlights. So I'll double check with them and make sure. I don't see them on their website, but that Kel-Tec folding knife is really cool too. So you guys go check out Kel-Tec at keltecweapons.com, and again, just inundate them. Let them know that you are glad to have them on board as a sponsor of the Talking Lead podcast. Their Instagram page, their Facebook page, just hit them up. Or if you don't have any of those, send them an email. That'll work too. So one more thing before we get off here, you know, I've been pleading to our lady listeners out there, the lady lead heads, and we presented Katie H with a little package last week, and Katie won the Remington hat and the Remington shooting shirt, and I promise it's on its way, Katie. So just be patient; you'll get that soon. You'll get it in time for Thanksgiving, hopefully. But this week we're going to give away one of the Modern Spartan Systems starter kits. And it's going to go to this lady listener. It's Shannon W. Shannon says, "My husband got me hooked on your podcast. I heard on the first few podcasts that you want to hear from the ladies." That's right. I want to know that we have lady listeners out there. I want to know that we have content that's appealing to you guys, useful to you. I say you guys, you gals. So yeah, send me your emails, talkingled@gmail.com, and put Lady Leadhead in the subject. Let me know that you're a listener. Let me know how long you've been listening, what you like about the show, what you don't like about the show. Suggestions on what you would like to hear. People, products, places, things like that. So she goes on to say, I've had my concealed carry permit for 7 years now and carry M&P Shield. Well, congratulations. That's a good gun. Started carrying back when I was a corrections officer. On the weekends, my husband and I enjoy target practice and the occasional varmint hunt. The swag bag sounds pretty dang interesting, and I would love a chance at it. So there you go, Shannon. Congratulations. You're going to get the Modern Spartan System starter kit, which has the Spartan Accuracy Oil, Carbon Destroyer, Copper Lead Destroyer, and the Crystal Clear in there. And then I'm also going to send you one of those hats. So congratulations, Shannon. But you other lady leadheads, follow suit with Shannon. Send me your emails, talkinglead@gmail.com, lady listener. And we'll give away another Modern Spartan Systems kit here. So real quick, some things coming up. We've got November the 10th, as you guys are listening to this. It'll be coming up soon. We're going to be at Royal Range for Veterans Day weekend. It's the weekend before Veterans Day on that Monday. November the 10th, we'll be at Royal Range, USA, and they're going to have some great events going on there. Going to have some celebrities. They're going to have Chris Spence, one of the original horse soldiers. He's going to be on site to sign the Horse Soldier book. He'll also be showcasing his World Trade Center piece and an inert landmine. So you guys can come out, meet Chris Spence, get a copy of his book. I believe that's what that movie 12 Strong was based on, which was out here recently. Pretty good movie. Had Thor, the guy who played Thor, what's his name, Chris Hemsworth. But they're going to have special sales going on. Veterans with proper credentials get half-price lane rentals, $20 per mag on submachine guns, $25 per belt on belt-fed machine guns, all kinds of stuff. So you guys come out there. We'll be there. Chris Spence will be there. Might be some other people who are going to be there. I think Ride-On's going to be set up. Modern Spartan Systems may have some things there. IWI is going to be there. So this November the 10th coming up. Get a chance to come out. And I'll try to do some live stuff while I'm there too. So also coming up, we've got our 4th annual Black Friday Cyber Monday special show coming up. It's going to be a good one. I got a little later start on that, so I'm busting ass to get everybody and all their deals and all their sales together for you guys in time. So I'm going to be busy getting that show together before Thanksgiving. So that does it for another episode of the Talking Lead Podcast. As always, if you guys have questions, comments, suggestions for the show, send them in, talkinglead@gmail.com. Always love hearing from you guys on Instagram, on Facebook. Be engaging. Don't forget about our AK Corner. We got Jim Fuller coming up. And don't forget, we're giving away AKs on that show, the Talking Lead AK Corner. You could be the next lucky recipient. So make sure you're engaging with us on social media, sending in those suggestions, those emails, and we'll be picking another winner coming up soon. And until then, leadheads, keep your loved ones close and your firearms closer.